Everything you need is already inside of you. The world would not be what it is without you. When we begin to create change within us, we begin to create change in the world around us. Your journey to becoming your best self as the whole person starts right now.
Hello and welcome to the Become Your Best podcast and webinar series. I'm your host and the vice president at Rise Up For You, and it's my honor to be here with you today. Today, we're going to be interviewing our guest, Marla Diann, who comes to us nearby my hometown in California. She's the owner of Marla Diann Mentoring International, and it's an international success coaching business. She's also a business strategist and a transformational artist. Don't you love that verbiage? For high-achieving creative entrepreneurs. See, now you know why she's on the show. I know you're listening and you're thinking, that's me. I'm a high-achieving creative entrepreneur or professional, ready to upgrade to the next level of life and business, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Her brand attracts women and men who are visionary and thought leaders seeking to be change makers in their industries. She has over 25 years as a creative entrepreneur of two businesses. And in her present coaching business, 32 years of entrepreneurship, life and business coaching, entertainment, PR, talent management, personal branding, personal growth, spirituality, all the things that we know to be true because the person is the professional and the professional is the person. She holds a Bachelor of Liberal Arts and Science degrees in PR journalism from San Diego State University. And she's a graduate of the Tony Robbins Mastery University. I love it. She's a proud member of the Divine Living community with her mentor, Gina DV, and a 7-year member of the Association of Bridal Consultants, 2 years with the Wedding International Professionals. She comes to us with all kinds of amazing things. She's a very proud mom of her 32-year-old son who has his own successful real estate investing business. And we're excited that she's here today to talk with us about really leveling up and using your intuition. Marla, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. You know, your visual intro is quite inspiring. That was really lovely, and thank you. Appreciate
You're so welcome. So we have so many entrepreneurs and professionals alike, executives and leaders that listen to the show. And you have come with a wealth of information. What are you really passionate about right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's definitely kind of it's part of my mission. It's part of who I am. And that is, it's all about what I call, living by your joy, following your joy. And, that's not hyperbole, everybody. That is a life strategy. It's a spiritual principle. I kind of go with, if you're not following your joy, what are you following? Right. And so I am really focused on, and have been for a while, especially being empowerment for women and so forth. And that is living by, and this is all connected to joy, living by your intuition first, then your logic, then the practical, right? Then the intellect, but literally following your intuition, because it is the doorway to your wisdom, your genius, your creativity, and your joy, right? It's a feminine art that I really firmly believe that many of us high-achieving women could use some support in.
Absolutely. I was coaching an executive earlier today, and I even just had her put her hand on her chest. And so she could feel and get in touch with her breath and what she is looking for. So what if someone, a man or a woman, is listening today and they say, well, that sounds great. Like, do what brings me joy, live in my intuition. But I don't know what that means, or I'm so out of touch with it. I'm so busy. I'm so logical. I'm so stuck in my head. Where do I start, Marla?
Oh, God, yeah, no, absolutely. What's super important is to, and we'll go into, I know at some point today, about the masculine, feminine energy of life, right? And this is not anything to do with gender. This is really just a way to categorize so that we can better understand the logical, the linear, the practical, the strategies, the systems, the going, the giving of life versus the feminine, right, energy of life, which is, connection, collaboration, emotion, creativity, expansion, fun, pleasure, play, adventure. And in order to listen to your intuition, you've got to know what the feminine is about in the first place and make it a priority in your life. And more so when in my coaching and in my life, it's about the balance and the blend of the two, right? The masculine, feminine in anything that you do, again, right? The goal getting, the structure, the systems, because what happens for us when we don't pay attention to the feminine of life, the receiving, the leaning back, right? The visioning, all of the pleasure, the joy, we burn out. We burn out. And so one of the best ways for us as women, high achievers and men, I have wonderful creative men too. Oh my gosh. And I talk to them about this very thing. And that is to feel what's going on with you. Literally use your feelings. Okay, this may be a soft skill, but it's a very, very powerful life strategy so that you don't start going down this detour to burnout, right? So listening to, right, your heart, like you were saying with your executive today, is that you first ask your heart, if you will, get out of your intellect, get out of your head, and literally ask your heart the same question you're asking your head. Because our heart, right, our intuition, that's that space here, is our wisdom. It's what is best for us, not somebody else, but what's best for us. Mm-hmm. And so learning to stop, kind of take a deep breath while you're in the middle of this kind of hustle and bustle type of mode, which we all do as entrepreneurs, and just literally lean back for a minute. Catch yourself when you're breathing up here instead of down here, right? And literally go, okay, whoa, hold on a minute. And I do this every day. I'm caught up in that too, but I've got the skills and the tools, which is what I'm sharing, and how to just stop, take a deep breath, ask your intuition, get quiet for a minute. I know that may be a little challenging, but eventually you do it enough, you can. And literally ask your intuition, is this the right client? Is this the right email to send out? Is this the right program to offer? Do I go ahead and do this? So that's the beginning of building that intuitive muscle, is to stop, go into your feminine, right? Your feminine energy, your feminine power, and allow that to lead you.
I love that. Really taking a minute. We are such in a culture of being so busy, and that productivity is so valued, and it's easy for me to fall into that trap. If I just do more, I'll just get more clients.
Yeah.
And we know if we don't pause, then we'll reach that burnout. And burnout, of course, has become more of a strong topic. It's always been there, but especially in the last few years, people are more aware of this concept that, if I don't take time, if I'm not rooted in the joy zone, actually, that you brought up in the beginning, if I'm not in flow, I will reach that burnout. Also, if I have too many tabs open. We did an exercise recently on an emotional intelligence training, and we said, how many tabs are open, like browser tabs on the website, in your mind, right? You've got your kids, you've got your significant other, you've got your work, you've got like all the things.
Yeah.
And then how can we close them so the cognitive load is less, so that the burnout is less? And really taking time and and I love that you brought up, we're all about soft skills, Marla. So we love a good soft skill. And we really think that's why most careers and entrepreneurs are derailed, because of those soft skills. So taking a few moments to really plan first. What is my vision? what is the most important things that I need to move forward? I don't
Mhm.
necessarily just need to be busy to feel productive.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this is a great segue to um, talking about my creative achievement formula, which has to do with the balance and the blend of the masculine and feminine. And let me explain that. So, and it's, again, this is more so for the women entrepreneurs. Men are fantastic at their goals and in being single focused, whereas women, we tend to take in everything in our environment. So the creative achievement formula is this, and this is the mindset shift first, which I know you're an expert in mindset coaching. And that is, watch this formula: desires, feminine, plus goals, masculine, equals transformation and result. And let me unpack that for a minute. So I want you to observe and just kind of feel the vibe when you operate by goals alone. That's all masculine. When we put desires first, and a desire could be, and I'll mention in a minute my story about going to Italy. And that is when we as women take our desires off the shelf. And a desire typically is something that we have not paid attention to because of time or money. And we make an excuse why that desire has to wait. When you take the desire and you make that the motivation behind getting the goals done, now you have, the joy factor. You have the focus on that trip to Italy, that home you want to buy, that, fill in the blank. For me, it was, and consistently is a travel to Italy. When you put that as your main focus, and then plus the actions you need to take, making the money, bringing in the clients, all the masculine, the doing, you're going to end up with a result that's specific to you and a transformation of you, because our desires are meant to transform us. So the creative achievement formula speaks to putting desires in that equation, not just goal getting, because that's what burns us out and shuts down our heart and our intuition. But instead combine the two so that desires are leading the way. Does that make sense?
I love that. And I love, we all have masculine and feminine principles within us, energies within us.
Yeah.
And so allowing ourselves to really use our strengths and use both of them so that we can then be in the flow and really ultimately achieve what we want.
Mhm.
I did a webinar recently and I asked, it happened to be all women, although of course we work with men too, like yourself. And we asked them, how many of you want more success? They all raised their hands. They're all entrepreneurs. And then I said, how many of you want more peace, a sense of peace? You could see them just relax. I mean, they could barely raise their hand. They were just melted into, that's really actually what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Because it's all about going back to, when you ask me what's my, important focus, my value, it's joy. It's following your joy first and then the intellect. Because we literally, our purpose, in my opinion, see what you think about this. I mean, our purpose generally, even though we all have individual type of purposes, is number one, to evolve, and number two, follow our joy. That's it. That's what we're meant to be. That's a spiritual principle. You can find it in tons and tons of books about that, because we as humans, we're wired to enjoy. We're wired, to be in the joy. But our society and how we have been programmed is to, especially America, Europe's a lot better than we are about this, right? Which is why I love going to Italy, is that it's all about the goals and getting that success. Well, that's not just success, right? So again, yes, is that the importance is to really be in that joy place. Like, what brings me the most joy in work and right in personal life, but especially in work? Nobody wants to be doing things that don't bring them joy. To me, that sounds like, ugh, God, how not a fun life, right? So yeah, is being in that joy. And if I may real quickly explain how that affected my life.
Great. Yeah.
Right. Is that in 2017, it's kind of part of my brand story here is 2017, after being in my coaching business 9 years. I've been a total of 14 years this year. But 9 years in, I hit a major burnout. You know why? Because I was in masculine mode all the time. I was into the funnels and the click-throughs and the email marketing and the fill in the blank, all the masculine of life. And I wasn't in my joy. And I literally felt like a manufactured version of myself. And I hit that proverbial wall. It was March of 2017. I reached out to my coach, Gina, and hired her for a day intensive. And I said, I want to recover my dreams and I want to make money with joy. I'm tired of being a complete machine about it. And 5 hours later, she had pulled out of me my dream, my long time 20-year dream and desire to live and work here and in Italy. And what did we do? She says, you're going to Florence, Italy for a month. Let's plan it. And we did. And 45 days later, I left for Rome and Florence, Italy. I spent the summer of August 2017 living my desire and my dream, and it completely changed my entire life. I came back, changed everything about my business, stopped doing things that I thought I had to do, only did that what brought me joy, and changed, rebranded everything. We did a photo shoot while I was in Florence. The point is, I literally stopped and I changed everything, went after my desire, did that, and it changed everything from the inside out. It's kind of like Marla pre-Florence and Marla after Florence. And I've gone back twice since. I'm going again in September to another part of Italy. I just cannot emphasize this enough, everybody. Stop putting your play and fun and adventure to the side. Do it along with all the goal setting.
You're really commingling it all together, and it doesn't have to look a certain way. And I do think it matters who we're following and it's great to have mentors and business coaches. And of course, you and I both do that. However, is it all about just do more, just do more, just do more, which is often what we hear. And so perhaps it is time to pause and to switch and to ask your heart what it really wants. Well, Marla, I know on your website you have some great gifts and some great downloads. Tell us what we'll find there.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, if you go to what's listed here, is I give you the option to schedule a 30-minute intro call and talk to me about this very topic, especially about banning the burnout. And then along with that, on that page are my 3 wonderful handouts. Please, download any one of the 3. One is your path to higher earning power. The other is my top recommended success books. And then the other one is feeding your creativity impacts your income. So yeah, go at it.
Oh, that's awesome. And if you're listening and don't have our visual, it's Marla Diann. It's spelled Marla, Marla, and Diann without an E. So DIANN, DIANN.com/special. And you can book a call with Marla. You can also download the free guides that she has for us as well. Marla, it's such a great topic, such something that definitely impacts me, and I know many of our listeners. As a closing question, we love to ask, what does Rise Up for You mean to you?
Oh yeah, love that question. Well, it's very similar to your company's, which is about helping elevate humanity. right? In my case, creative entrepreneurs, right, and professionals, but be leaders of success on all levels, be role models, if you will, in their industries. Because I help develop my clients into leaders of compassion, vulnerability, healthy money relationship, which is one of my specialties, financial intelligence, visibility, collaboration. So in other words, leaders, right? We're serving them to be the leaders. And a really quick, good example of a client who I was working with, until we went through my thought leadership content, she defined leadership as someone who managed people. And when we moved to, and I taught her the thought leadership was really about the vision, right? And impacting her community with consciousness, with what she stands for, and creating, if you will, those of like minds. Then she kind of like perked up. She said, oh, I'm going to have the managing of my company to my staff, and I'll be the thought leader.
I love that. I got this vision of people really holding that vision. What is the culture? What is the vision that I want to create, whether I'm a team of one or leading a team of 100? Thank you so much for the work you're doing and for being on our show today.
Oh, thank you. This has really been lovely. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Great. Absolutely. Such a great conversation. So timely in this version of 2022 where we really are evaluating our joy, what matters to us as leaders, as entrepreneurs. It's been my pleasure to be your host today. And I want you to know that if you are looking for some coaching with us, you can do that with our brand new Power Coaching Program. Simply go to riseupforyou.school. Go under courses and check out coaching. We would love to work with you as low as $149 a month for power coaching. I'll see you next time on the podcast. Until then, rise up for you.